Okay, hello everybody. So, part of me thinks this doesn't make sense to ask until there's somebody here, including it actually might be somebody who I am familiar with and who does live streams. So that might be there's something I want to ask about. In the meantime, um, putting on some chapstick, and yeah, this morning was kind of storming out, and I would have loved to have stayed in bed. However, I did sleep pretty well. It was a bit noisy, and also um, the routine, kind of getting up with the other person in the house that has to go out. And just after I took a cab to work, kind of did clear up. It kept saying, "Oh, I think it's clearing up." I was like, "I don't think it is yet," but I was multitasking and doing stuff in the kitchen. Yeah, it did. Um, so and that was a bigger cab too. I really think he could have put his bike in it, or requested one that he could have put his bike in it. Doesn't mind the walk, but it's a long, you know, physically active day at work, and and yeah, and then oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes I can go back to sleep. But I usually don't until many hours later when I usually get a nap in. Um, um, and today has actually mostly been sunny since that morning storm. I thought it was supposed to be a mix of sun and clouds, so I'm just getting something because, although he did agree there's not a lot of rain, a mix of sun and clouds, but um, yeah. I'm just looking for something. I had a lunch and it was okay, but I feel like I want to be eating a little bit of something afterwards because it's a little bit not something I'm used to eating, and I am kind of curious about those. I am. But I think that'd be spicy. Never had these before. Um, and we hadn't even intended to order them with our grocery list order that we got delivered. They're okay. Not super strong flavor unless there's an after spice or whatever they call it. Allspice. Just kidding. Want the dog to get that there. No, I might just have to. Oh yeah, and there is. There is. And I don't do soda very often, but I think it's gotten a little bit. So let me just see. Hmm. Hmm. So, but yeah, I'm curious. I don't know. This is a shared channel. I mean, but he is on YouTube quite often, even if he's not the other person in the home, even if not posting and watching and chatting on much stuff. Mostly uses it for music, for fitness, or things that we watch with each other. But he probably would notice the comments, and I don't know. It's kind of like he may not be surprised if I was talking about it and feeling it, but I don't know if I really want to kind of speak much about, this desire sometimes to stay in bed. When you're struggling to find purpose in life, and you're a bit kind of stuck in life, then yeah, it's kind of appealing. And maybe some people actually can do it. I'm not one of them, which makes the days quite long sometimes when I don't have plans, which is not all of them, but most of them. So, what you gonna do, right? Podcast. That's something. And I was looking up some songs this morning. I was looking up like what they call golden oldies, 50s, 60s, 70s, although I like a lot of stuff. Those ones are really fun to sing. I wish there was somebody here watching this as I say it, maybe I should wait, but I've already started to, because I'd be curious for requests. A lot of them are about lovers, and that feels kind of a little bit awkward to to do on YouTube around strangers. But I'm sure that those people sing around crowds their songs all the time. I don't know how popular. Well, they were like a lot of them seem to be televised, or I don't know how popular concerts were back then. Probably not as big as they are now. Um, but they were mostly happy songs, but they're fun to sing. If I was to give a little example, I wish I could think of a song at the moment, but let's just do this little run just because I can, I think. Wee, wee, but I don't know if I like the actual song. And hopefully, that was high, but not so high that it was like ear piercing. Felt okay to me. I will admit that this is probably not one of my best videos. It's just I had it set up, with the title and the description for a while. And then I was watching a friend's podcast and said I might podcast. We did kind of come up with a song idea. I would have had me come in and join on his, but he hadn't set it up that way. The other day it worked out. I think it was only the second or third video of his I'd seen. Well, I looked at a bit of his channel, but not much. Not I think it was only the second or third video of his that I'd seen, and he had somebody else join him at first, so he had it already set up that way. But yeah, so that was fun. I feel mixed about doing this one song, but it's always been special to me, and it is a nice song with a nice message. And Penumbra does a really cool artsy cover of this. And I don't really have any other ideas. Like I said, if there was people here, I'd chat about when you're struggling with trying to find purpose and passion and motivation, and if you truly do spend all day in bed, what's the secret? Because like I said, I don't know if I'd want to, but it'd be nice to just be able to kind of sometimes put myself to sleep easier. I don't know. Some people are saying, I take a sleeping aid or I pop this or whatever, but and I'm sorry, that this may be hard for some people to hear, especially if it's after the fact and it's people that are somewhat familiar with me. I try to make the most of my days and I try to enjoy it. And today I actually am going out. I won't say exactly when, but that'll be nice. Even though I'll be in a car and it is quite windy, that'll be nice. Call it around 11. I'm not super duper familiar with the person, but I kind of am, and I know his daughter quite well. It was actually kind of a funny coincidence this morning on YouTube. But and what I'm going for, kind of is to pick up something because I've been struggling. So, mixed feelings, but it's also special and appreciated. I also wanted to ask, and somebody just tuned in. I'm not sure if it's somebody who podcasts or if watching them I haven't noticed this morning, but it looks like the formatting is a little bit different. Like it's extra wide. There's a bit of a frame, I guess, around it. I don't know I don't think there's anything else really different. The person left like, yeah, actually, now that you mention it, and it's kind of distracting. Or sorry, hopefully not. I don't want to be putting that into anybody's head, but or no, it looks the same to me. Are you on something? Just coffee. I'm trying to be high on life. And yeah. But so that'll be nice. That'll be nice to do that. I'm always thankful to Ray and the other Golden angels that have kind of allowed that to be something for me, even though it's sort of for a certain clientele, which I'm not quite, but kind of. And I do go to groups at this place, so it kind of makes sense. And since the one closer by decided I'm stupid, Anywho, but thankfully it only took right. So I'm getting, I don't want to be too specific. But and I really I'm pretty much all set to go. So but I will be leaving shortly. Not necessarily right when I wrap up this podcast, but shortly. So before I wrap up this podcast, do I want to do a song? It's always nice when I can incorporate a song. I think a while ago I got the idea of trying to put a song in every podcast, whether it was at the beginning, end, or both. And there's a lot of music out there, and I like a lot of music, but sometimes not easy to find a song to do that you're feeling, that you feel enough to do, or that I feel enough to do. And then also too, some of them are, a lot of them are full bands, and so there might be a riff in there that you would hate to leave out, but I can't do it myself, or there might be instrumentation that I can only do as much as I can do myself, like I say. So yeah. Anyway, this song, one of the things that makes it special to me is I was around a friend once, and who has since passed away, and I remember playing it around him, I think, and I don't remember exactly what he said afterwards, unfortunately, but I do remember him liking it. He was also Indigenous, so that he may have related to it a bit. But most all lives matter. So we all have different challenges, so we just got to be there for each other, right? So yeah, I think I'll do this song since it kind of came up in conversation with my other friend on his video. Maybe I'll still do it on his video at some point, but I think I'm going to do it on mine now. However, and I've been told that that the AC is not as loud as it seems to kind of be in here. And I mean, when I'm playing loud, then I'm playing loudish. So I mean, I do notice that. However, I think I might keep it on because I'm not exactly sure what they're doing, but there's a bunch of work trucks out front, and just also want to remember to have my phone in my pocket. There's a bunch of work trucks out front, and I just have a feeling like they might be sitting running or making a bunch of noise, and I would think that with the windows and the door closed, I wouldn't hear it. I guess I could turn off the thing and see. Let's go do that. Nobody doing work for us. They're actually pretty close to the house I was hoping to create a drop-in center from, but I didn't know who the agency was, and it's sitting empty. And I put a note on the door, and it was there for about 3 or 4 days. It's been not there for about 4 or 5 days. Nobody's reached out to me. I don't know, maybe it needs a lot of work before they're putting it up again, or it was I don't know. But it doesn't seem like it's too loud. They got them on our street and around the corner. And then that's a hydro vehicle, so I don't know. Here. I'm a little bit disappointed if my friend Hank doesn't make it here before he does his task. I told him I wasn't going to be rolling long and really just had one song idea, but I guess I do understand though. Sometimes people, if they have certain things they want to do and complete in their day, even if they are very free spirited and kind of yeah. Then it's nice to be able to check things off the to-do list. I get that. So, this is still kind of cool. It's been sitting over here for a while because I've been meaning to podcast for about 2 hours and watching videos and chatting with somebody and yeah. So far, not exactly motivating. Nobody's here. I know it's only been 15 minutes. I think there was only someone briefly there for a few seconds a little earlier. And I hate to, have the dog put upstairs so he doesn't, get into stuff, make any messes while I'm out in a little while. And past couple times, one time he just simply went up there and I was podcasting, so I didn't really want him making, noises and distracting things. But I feel bad, although he's fine with it. He doesn't seem to mind. But I put him up there, and I just play music lately. But okay, so I only have one song idea. We'll keep this a bit on the shorter side of things and just do that, I guess, and then probably wrap up. Watch, like I say, I don't necessarily require big numbers. Am I going to say no to them? If there's, lots of people that want to come in and have an enjoyable chat with me and each other, then, that's fine. But I'm good with 2 or 3. Even 1 sometimes can be, when things are a bit quieter, can be quite, lovely. It's better than none, right? But yeah. I hope I'm not jinxing anything and saying that, it's like 5, 6, 7, whatever, will tune in and they all want to chat and have a good time. And I'm like, I gotta go. The one time I actually am a bit rushed. If that's the case, but you like the content, feel free to check out the other posts. Mostly the live tab is the recent stuff. And yeah. So. I'm low energy, even though the sun's out. Oh, what you gotta do? Yeah, I learned a new John song today, but I don't think I want to do it. This one I almost do. But no, I don't like the lyrics there. Okay, let's try this one. Well, not try this one. I don't know if I've ever done it on the piano, but I've certainly done it on the guitar lots. I want to give my finger another couple of days so that I don't kind of, I know that, sometimes you get calluses when you play guitar anyway, or guitar players do, but it's almost healed. It really is. 2 or 3 days and I might be good, but I just don't want to kind of open it again. So. I like most of the lyrics in this, so here we go. If you own whatever land you land on, the earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a the only people who are people like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, things 6 is fast. Never knew, never countries of the earth. Come rolling all the riches around you. And for once you never wonder what they're worth. And we are all connected to each other in a home, in a that never I just a sycamore cut it down. Never know. Oh, you'll never hear the brook cry. Oh, no. Rather be a white skin. You should sing with all the voices of the mountain. Sing with all the colors of the wind. Can own the earth and still all you is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the rain. Ray is here saying, we're all enjoying it, buddy. Don't give up. Keep posting. And, oh, yeah, and you're welcome, she says. So get some good stuff, she says. And I was thinking about you and wishing you the best. So thank you. Well, that's really all I have prepared. I wanted to keep it short. I technically could go for another 15 minutes, but why would I want to, really? Especially when it's this quiet. And also, like I said, don't want to chance that while live. Afterwards, a different matter. But while live, like I say, it becoming very chatty and me being like, I can't stay and enjoy it. So, whether they're long, whether they're short, sometimes they're quiet, sometimes they're not, as far as viewers and chat and comments. But keep plugging away at it and hopefully bringing joy and comfort and happiness. Well, happiness is similar to joy, I guess, to the people. And very diverse. And I also try and cater, like if somebody has a song request or a topic request, if I feel like I can adequately do it and it's of interest, and it likely would be, then I will. So, and again, I don't know if that's necessarily uncommon. I just don't come across it very often. So I don't know, maybe it makes me a little unique. It's not that people don't focus on their viewers and commenting to their viewers, but and they realize that YouTube is a social platform and it's about engagement. I guess feel like some people don't necessarily try for it. Some of them are just very organized and they come on, they know what they want to do, and they go off. But then again, they might have really busy lives or not be as freestyle as I often don't and am. So yeah. Anyway, I'm not meaning to kind of talk myself up, but what's wrong with a little bit of that, right? I guess I just want people to know who have never seen the channel before or are still, new to it. Yeah. Well, I'm kind of wishing it was a little closer to when I'm going out. There's a small part of me, but you know what? This person who's going to be helping me out, he is older. He lives in an lives in a small space, and one of his daughters passed away. Even though he drives, it's a 5-hour drive to, I believe, the town that both of the other two live in. And I don't know if he has other kids and his grandkids. I mean, one of them is moving to another part in Ontario soon, and one of them is where one of the daughters is, I believe, and I don't know about the rest, but they're very spread out, I think. And so, it might be a little bit, want to be helpful, want to have a purpose, want to get out of the four walls for a bit, so to speak. Not really close enough to be able to help my own family much, but I can help their friends. It's kind of, and I'm not saying that that's necessarily bad. I mean, it's I get it. I do get it in some ways. That's what I glean anyway. I think it makes sense. But also to be helpful. And, although the weather has improved a bit, it's still windy, potentially wet. I'm not feeling a lot of energy today, and I have quite a bit to carry. So, and I didn't really need to repeat that again, because actually when he called to confirm that he was indeed picking me up, I kind of said, yeah, I know that. I said just that. So I didn't really need to say it again, but there you have it. So, but yeah, so, yeah. And when I say it would be nice to get outside, I guess I was briefly out with our dog this morning. But it's sunnier now. Although honestly, I sometimes find when it's too sunny, if there's a nice breeze and it's consistent and it's not too warm of a breeze, actually, well, I say consistent, but if it's like really breezy every now and then, you want it to stop for a bit, right? So I don't know, but I do find that when it's really sunny and hot out, it's easy to get drained. For me, anyway, with my health and getting old and all that stuff. But yeah, so anyway, he's kind of a quiet guy. He's not really at least mostly seems to be a bit old school, but pretty open-minded. And yeah, but brothers and sisters and all the in-between identities. If you see this afterwards, I thank you for being here with me on this video and any others you check out. And I hope you're having a lovely day. We are closer to the weekend. If you have plans you would like to mention in the comments, I guess I could say I'm kind of looking for some ideas this particular weekend, and some of the other ones. So yeah, but be well, kindness and love, self-care. Now it's going to be a bit noisier outside, I guess. So, and yeah, that's about all. So bye for now.